In case you haven't noticed, Pokemon boxes have been selling out on release day almost immediately lately. And people have been asking me a lot, like how to get Pokemon boxes at a distributor or at wholesale prices. So I want to make this video to show how to get those distributor accounts and how to get Pokemon products at wholesale price. And my name is Andrew and you're watching Gem TCG here. If you're new here, I do have a Patreon where I help people start and grow their eBay stores, and the link is in the description. But let's get on to the video. So I will be honest, getting a distributor license is actually extremely hard, and it's not like the best method to getting Pokemon products at a cheaper cost because one, the prices aren't that much better than you could have been getting them before this recent boom. And actually earlier last year, distributor prices were actually higher than what they were selling for on TCG Player. So it's not like always the best thing to have. And the second thing is, if you do get a distributor account, you won't be getting the best products right away, and they actually save all the good stuff like the booster boxes and the ETBs for their longer term clients and customers and people that spend the most amount of money with them. So if you're just starting off, you're probably going to get like some random collection boxes or deck boxes, and you'll need to spend a lot of money on the less popular items before you can start getting these good items. And before you even try to get a distributor or like look into this, which I will show you how to actually do it towards that, like next up in this video, you need two things, if not maybe three. The number one is you need an LLC or a type of business. So that could be like an LLC, S Corp, or something along the lines of that, where you get a sales tax license and a form saying that you are or selling items on like for profit or something like that. You need a business tax license and a sales tax license, or a business license, not a business tax license. That's not right. And another thing that a lot of these distributors are doing is they are not opening accounts for people that don't own an actual brick and mortar or like a local card store. So if you're selling online, then your chances are pretty low. And if you don't have a website that you sell from, then it's basically 0% chance to get one. I will admit I got mine without having any of those, but unfortunately that distributor went bankrupt and they actually closed all the accounts, so that doesn't work anymore. So with the actual better distributors, it's not possible to do that, from my experience at least. So if you want, you should have a card break, which is like ripping packs, like opening packs online. Have something like that set up, or you need to have a actual website where you sell packs from. And the best chance is to have an actual storefront, because a lot of them are just limiting it to only open new accounts for people that own an actual storefront, and they don't want to have people that are only selling online, because it's not fair to those people that own like the storefronts. So let me show you where exactly to look for these distributors, and they're all official ones, so you don't have to worry about like getting scammed. These are all vetted by Pokemon Company, like the Pokemon Company, and it's on their actual website. So let's head over to that now and I will show you what to do. So what you're going to want to do is type in Pokemon Center distributors, and then this will show this link. It says Pokemon Trading Card Game Resellers. So click on that, and then it'll just show a list of all of them. So they have the North America ones, Canada, South America, or like Latin America, Europe, and Africa and Asia. So depending on which country you're in or which continent you're in, check that. I will be focusing on the USA ones because that's where I'm from and that's where the majority of the viewers are from. So that's what I will be focusing on. And as you can see, there's a lot of duplicate listings. So there's Alliance, and then Alliance again. GTS is a bunch of times, Mad Al a few times. So these are because, as you can see, they're all in different locations. So it's the same company, but just a different warehouse location. And that actually plays a big factor on your application, because you want to be close to these distributors. You don't want to be in New York buying from a California distributor because the shipping is very expensive. So they may find it not worth it to have an account with you if they're going to have to spend that much on the shipping. And they would rather have someone that's nearby so the shipping won't be as expensive. Because when you're buying booster boxes and sealed product, especially in big amounts, the shipping is very expensive. And I don't think people realize that. So you're going to want to be as close as possible to these. And I will admit, it doesn't hurt to apply to literally every single one. Like, go through the whole list, spend a day doing it, and just apply through all of them. That's what I did. And what you'll notice is like most of them will decline you, but you might have a chance. The more you do, the better your chances are. And like, let's say Gold River doesn't accept you, but then maybe Alliance does. So it's like, you just want to have increase your chances as much as possible with something like this. And what I have known is that, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but GTS and Peach State and I believe Southern Hobby are the three biggest ones. So that could be taken both ways. It could mean there's a lot of competition to get a new account, or maybe they accept more accounts, so it's better to apply to those. Whichever thing you think, it doesn't really matter, but just that's just some information to have. So what you can do, so let's do Southern Hobby. So what you'll want to do is go on Google, type in Southern Hobby application. And then just go on their website. I don't know if that's the right one. So this is their website. And what you'll want to look for is something where it says like create an account. So right here, account registration. And let's read what they say. We like to ask a few questions to see if they're a good fit. This is not a new account application. Please allow up to 10 business days for your submission to be reviewed. So this is weird. I'm not sure what this is for. I think this is just to get a better understanding, and this is probably to weed out all the people that are only selling on eBay or TCG Player, or they don't have like an actual storefront. So what they want to see here is like information about you, what you're going to be selling, what your business does, and what you plan on purchasing from them, and the type of business model you are. So like, as you can see here, brick and mortar is the top option. Then it goes to a sports card breaker, which is what I mentioned earlier. Kiosk at a local mall, similar. That's another like in-person thing. Vendor, another in-person thing. Amazon is bigger sales because Amazon's the biggest platform to sell on. And then it's eBay. So it's like, as you can see, the smaller the in-person thing becomes, the lower it is on their ranking. So if you have a brick and mortar, it's the easiest way to get it. And then it's just some other information they want. Any URLs. If you have a big social media following, maybe that would help. When I applied, I had no social media following at all. So who knows? Maybe that didn't help me with my chances, and that's probably why I got rejected. Are you currently being serviced by another hobby distributor? That's if you have one, then I'll say yes. If not, ignore it. How'd you hear about it? That's probably optional. This is the thing I was talking about. Sales tax resale exemption certificate. What that means is that you are allowed to sell like products to people and then collect sales tax from them. And then by having that, it saves you from paying sales tax because you are not the end user. So if you're buying something for $100, instead of paying that in Michigan, it's 6% sales tax. Instead of paying 6% sales tax, it's just negated because I have that license or certificate. So then I can sell it to someone else and then charge them the sales tax. So it's like, it's just a money saver because when you think about it, 6% adds up. And if you're in a different state, maybe it's like 8 or 10%. That's a big amount to just be losing from taxes. So if you can get that license, it's very important. And another good thing that I will make a video on later is if you have this, you can put it on your eBay account so that when you buy items on eBay, you're not paying a sales tax. And this has saved me like probably thousands of dollars since I've done that, because I mean, it's been years. So I've saved a lot of money with having this sales tax resale exemption. So that's this one. This isn't a direct application, so I'm gonna look at another. Let's do Peach State Hobby Distributors. So again, type in Peach State Hobby. And then what you'll see here is look for the contact one. And like right here, attention new applicants. We're currently not able to accept any new gaming account applications for online only stores, non-gaming brick and mortar stores, or international retailers. So what that means is if you only sell online, you won't be able to make a new account with them. If you have a brick and mortar but it's not for gaming, you won't be able to make an account with them. So you pretty much need these, especially with the recent demand. Like, it's not going to be possible to get a new account unless you have some connection, which I will talk about later in this video. So like just cold applying to these would not get you any like luck, and I don't think you'll be able to get a new account, especially if you're online only. And let's just do a third one just in case. So Mad Al, I've tried to apply on this one a few times and it's always been weird to apply here. Let's look. I don't see the application. So just look around. Their websites are pretty old, so you're going to want to, just look around, search around to find what you're looking for. But I'm actually not finding anything here. So let's just skip that. And then I'll talk about how to get them with a connection, because maybe that will help boost your chances. And I'm saying that because I know, at least for in my career with software engineering, everyone says to connect with people, and that's the best way to get a job. And cold applying is basically useless because there's so much competition. So if you apply that logic to applying for a distributor, if you can network with these distributors and get in contact with people that work there, you can boost your chances at getting accepted and getting an account created with them. So maybe what you could do is like call them or send an email, explain your story and explain what you're doing and why you want to open an account with them. And a good tip would be to say you are buying like board games, role-playing games, or toys, these lesser in-demand items, because like right now you can't buy Pokemon products from them. So if they see that you don't even want that and you just want these less in-demand items, then you would be increasing your chances of doing that. Because that is what I did with my previous distributor. I talked about how I was going to buy like Digimon, some board games, because I actually was buying those because I knew that it was like, in order to get the good Pokemon products, you had to buy the stuff that didn't sell. So I let them know that I was going to do that, and they ended up accepting me, even though I was online only had like a year or two experience by then. And I was selling only on like eBay and TCG Player at the time. So connecting might be a good move, because most people aren't even thinking about that. Most people are just going to see this new account thing, put in their information, send it away. And to them, you're just another applicant. You're not really different than the others. And they're probably getting thousands of applications per day. So you need to find ways to set yourself apart. Or even better, if you know someone that works at these distributors, maybe you go on LinkedIn and look for that. You could do that. And then connect with them, see if they know anything or if they can get you in the door. That would be a good thing to do. Calling might be a good option. But yeah, that's basically it for getting a distributor. I would recommend not wasting too much time on this because one, it's very hard. And if you're selling only online, basically impossible. I don't want to sell you guys something and say like, oh, it's super easy. You can get booster boxes at $90 and then resell them right away from the distributor, because that's just not how it works anymore. Even last year when the demand wasn't as high and it was a bear market, they were still having these same things where it's like, you know, not accepting non-brick and mortar stores and stuff like that. So I don't know if looking for a distributor is the best option. Of course, if it's a quick thing, just send the application, try to email them and talk to them if you have the free time. But I wouldn't spend too much time on this because I think it's not like the best thing anyways, because like I said earlier, you need to buy like a bunch of crappy product that doesn't sell in order to get the good product. And like I think Pokey Any talked about this in one of his videos with distributors. Like he has a ton of just junk product that he had to buy because that's what you have to do to get the good product. And he has like thousands of dollars or maybe tens of thousands of dollars in just junk inventory that won't sell. So overall, it's probably not the best option. I will say like you can buy product from people on Facebook at like maybe 80% market price, and that might be better because it's one, it's easier, and two, you don't have to have like junk product. You could just buy only what you want. And another thing, if you want, I do have that tier in my Patreon with 10% discount off the market price for a sealed product, which is pretty good, especially if you're buying like hundreds of dollars worth of stuff and then you're saving like a few $100s. So you can do that if you're interested. And yeah, overall, I don't think it's that worth it. And don't be too bummed out if you can't get it accepted to these, because it's not as good as it sounds. And people make it sound like you'll get thousands of booster boxes at $80 or $90, and then you could just flip it for $150 or $200. And even when I had my account during like last year in the bear market, I didn't even have the chance to get these items, even though people weren't buying them. Like they were worth maybe $100 and they would sell out right away from the distributor. So it's like, it's not that good unless you're a storefront and you can afford to get these like tens of thousands of booster boxes, or maybe thousands, not tens of thousands. But if you're just starting off, don't be too worried about getting a distributor, and instead focus on like flipping singles so that you could get more money. So then in case you do get an account, you can actually afford to get a bunch of bulk or a bunch of sealed product. Because another thing is, with these distributors, you can't just buy one booster box or, you know, 2 booster boxes. You have to buy like a minimum amount per month, per order. So it's a very expensive thing. And unless you have money to just throw at this, it's really not that good of an option. So definitely like weigh those out and think about the pros and cons of this. Obviously, there's no risk to applying. Like you don't lose money to apply. Nothing bad happens if you don't get it. So go for it if you want, but just don't be too worried if you don't get it. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I wish you the best of luck when you apply to these distributors, and I hope you guys get in. So yeah, feel free to let me know in the comments on your experience with getting like the distributors and applying to them. But yeah, I hope y'all have a great weekend.